So I'm going to do a fun activity with you today that you also have at home and you can do at home. There's a sheet that has different types of oviparous animals on it. You're going to cut them up and put different numbers in 5 different cups or 5 different bags or even 5 different eggs. I put mine in little eggs because I happened to have them and it was fun. So I put different amounts. There are 5 different animals. Okay, there's a chick, there is a lizard, there's a turtle, there's a duckling, and there's a baby snake. Okay, and I put different numbers in each one. Okay, so I opened up my eggs and I found the animals in my eggs. So the first egg I opened had a lizard in it. So it had 2 lizards. Let's count. 1, 2. I had 2 lizards. So I went to my count and tally sheet and I went to lizards and I put the number 2 there and I made 2 tally marks. The tally marks represent the number 2. Number 2 I wrote and I made 2 tally marks. Now, then I opened another egg and I found this animal, the turtle. The turtle comes from an egg. It's oviparous. How many turtles did I find? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. I found 3 turtles in that egg. So I went to my tally sheet. I put number 3 next to turtle and I made 3 tally marks for turtle. Now, next, what is the next animal I found? I found in one of my eggs was one little chick, only one. So I went to the chick and I put the number 1 and I put the number 1 there to show the chick, okay? So then I opened another egg and did I find these? I found snakes because we all know that snakes are oviparous. How many snakes did I find? 1, 2, 3. I found 3 snakes in the egg. So I go to snake. I found snake here. I wrote number 3 to represent the number 3. And then another way to represent it was to make 3 tally marks. So I have 3 snakes. And then the last one I found, I opened an egg and there were ducklings in it because we know that ducks lay eggs. A duck is a bird. How many did I find? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I found 5 ducklings. So I went to my duckling picture on the sheet and I wrote the number 5 and I made 5 tally marks. Okay, we learned about tally marks that 5 is the last one we can use and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, slash makes 5. When we see that, we know it's 5 right away. Okay, so we have 5 ducklings. Which one do we have the most of? Which animal did I pick the most out of the eggs? Which egg had the most animal? 5. 5 ducklings. Okay, that's the highest number. That's the most. We say that's the most. Now we're going to talk about the least, which is the lowest number. Which animal did I have the least of? The baby chicken, which is a chick. I only had one chick. Okay, I had 2 animals that had the same number of animals in the eggs. Which one were those? Which one is the same? The snake had 3, the turtle had 3, so they had the same amount, the same number. Okay, so that's how we count and tally our oviparous animals. Now, I made a bar graph for this as well. Okay, so this is oviparous graphing. Okay, so I looked at all the numbers that I picked out of the eggs and I filled in one rectangle. Okay, so when I looked at the chick, I only had how many chicks? 1. So I only colored in 1 rectangle. When I had looked for the lizards, I only had 2 lizards. So I colored 2 rectangles. How many, can you tell from this graph how many turtles I found? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. I colored in 3 rectangles. That means I only had 3. I found 3. And as a matter of fact, the snake is right next to it. And I also found how many? 1, 2, 3. I found 3 snakes. I showed it on here as the number 3 and I tallied it. And then lastly, the ducklings. How many ducklings did I find? We can tell from the graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I colored in 5 rectangles. I found 5 ducklings. Now we can just look at the graph and right away know from how high the the graphing is, how high the bars are, how many of each and who would we have the most of. So we could say it again. Which animal did I find the most of? I look at the highest one and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had the most ducklings, and which one did I have the least? The chicks. I could see I only colored in one bar. So I only have one chick. And I can easily see which two animals I had the same amount of because they're exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're the same height. The snake and the turtle, I had the same number. And I can see that the lizard, I had 2. Okay? So this is how we complete our activity of the counting and the tallying and making a bar graph. So any way you do it, have a great time with it.